Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and I am sorry for not getting this up sooner. Well, both sooner in general and sooner today. Our internet, phone, and TV wasn't working today, and it only started working again after they fixed it while I was at work. And I was originally supposed to be off today, but they had me come in for 4 hours. I was originally going to have... I thought originally I was having to close, so I ordered food to be delivered, and it got canceled for a second time, because I had ordered it today for lunch, and it got canceled. I don't know what's going on today for Wendy's, but yeah, nobody wanted to go pick it up, I guess. And I mean, I was leaving a tip. Like, what was it, a 15% tip or something? But yeah, I was leaving a tip, so I don't know what was going on with that. Anyway. But yeah, I only just got home about almost 2 hours ago, and I ate. Went to the local Minimart and got some pizza, and I got a pepperoni roll, and I ended up just relaxing for a little bit because I was tired. Today has just been a day. So, today is going to have... I'm going to finish uploading for Blood of Zeus today. I have 2 videos to upload. 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. 5 and 6. Heron and a bunch of other people were put on a boat, and I'm guessing they were going to be taken to wherever so they could be made into, I don't know, slaves or whatever the heck you want to call them. Ooh, wait. Come on. Anyway. Yeah, they come up with a plan to get away, and while this is going on, Hermes ends up overhearing the big bad guy talking with Hera about what is going on and what they're going to do next, essentially. She sends him out to get that blade that Zeus made for Heron, and that's still stuck at the village, because she wants him to use it on Heron, obviously, and kill him, thus getting rid of part of her problem. What I don't get, in all of mythology, whenever there's any infidelity and there's a child created from it, they go after the kids. Though 9 times out of 10, when it comes to Zeus and his infidelities, Hera usually went after Zeus's partners. Like, for example, Apollo and Artemis's mother, she put some kind of curse on her to where she couldn't give birth on any sort of intact landmass or something, so he had to raise a floating island out of the ocean so she would have a place to be able to give birth. Let's see. I think Dionysius' mother... I can't say that word right. His mother... She put doubt into... Her mother... Hera put doubt into her head to get her to ask to see Zeus in his true form, and when you see a god in their true form, you will die from it. And that was her plan, to get rid of both of them because he hadn't given birth yet. However... Zeus obviously saved Dionysus from dying by strapping the unborn child into his own thigh and allow him to finish growing. So if you want to get technical, he had 2 mothers and a father. Oh my god. But yeah, she is known for going after his partners. Sometimes she will go after, but this instance she goes after the kids, and even is angry at Apollo and Artemis. Not so much Artemis, but more Apollo even calling him one of his bastards. And I'm like, yes, that's technically true, but they didn't choose that. If you want to be angry at anybody, leave the kids out of it, because they didn't choose to be born of Zeus's infidelity. And this actually holds true in real life. For the spouses who get cheated on, or girlfriends, boyfriends get cheated on, or whatever, and there's a child born through that infidelity, yes, it sucks, and you don't want to be reminded of your partner's infidelity whenever you see them, but they are still innocent in all this. They didn't choose to have them. They didn't choose to be born through infidelity. They didn't choose. Excuse me. Sorry. They didn't choose who their partners were, or their parents were. Sorry, they didn't choose who their parents. I cannot talk right. Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah. The kids are entirely innocent in that scope of things. Anyway, thankfully, Heron's able to avoid being killed by this guy on the ship. They manage to survive the ship being, destroyed and everything. Zeus finally decides to step in, even though he really was told not to. But obviously he couldn't let his son die. Even if it's through infidelity, it's still his child. He's obviously not being a very good father in his lifetime, considering, how many children he's fathered through infidelity. And I don't think... Has Hera ever had a child? I don't think so, or... Wait a minute, let me look. I could have swore that Hephaestus was her child, and that she tossed him out because he was deformed. And we actually see Hephaestus in the next episode. And Hera shows up in his old man form, wanting to help them. And actually, Alexis, whatever her name is, ended up getting on a different boat nearby because she went to go and ask Chiron for help, the centaur who raised Zeus. And he tried to help her, but we find out that he was essentially setting her up for a trap because it was either her or his people suffering the consequences, and he chose to protect his people. However, he discreetly destroyed the map in the process before handing it over to the big bad guy. And that's how she got captured. Let's see. Okay, so she only had, let's see. She had 6 kids. Ares, Enyo, Hebe, I can't even begin to pronounce this one. Elethea, Eris, and Hephaestus. Yes, Hephaestus was her child. Okay. But, yeah, I wonder how many of those were through Zeus. Because, as we all know, they are husband and wife, but they are also brother and sister, which is so freaking creepy in my opinion. But then again, back then, there weren't many gods and goddesses to choose from to marry, so they kind of had to do that in order to produce more. So, yeah. Anyway, he wants to give Heron some training, because there's no way he'd be able to beat that guy without training, obviously. And he sends Alexis and the others off to, what was it, Mandalay? Wherever the heck they're going, to find the giant corpse and burn it. Because if they burn it, all the demons will die too. And he summons a griffin. First I thought it was a Pegasus, but no, it's a griffin. To bring Heron to Mount Olympus. Obviously, most everybody there is not happy about this. And one of them does actually comment, can he not keep it in his pants? And I have to agree with them on that one. But yeah, the only ones who really are accepting of Heron at this point are Hermes, Apollo, and Artemis. And it makes perfect sense for Apollo and Artemis to be okay with him, Because, well, they're in the similar situation. They were both born of Zeus's infidelity with another woman, and they're accepting of this. I mean, they're essentially half siblings at this point. Different mothers, same father. Obviously, Hera's not happy about this, and Zeus tries to convince her that he will not do this again. They ask to forgive him, and yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Because we all know, if you know mythology, you know Zeus's track record when it comes to keeping it in his pants. I will believe him actually keeping his word on that one when he no longer has it. When he no longer has a little friend to do anything with. Yeah, that's probably the only way that's gonna happen. Is if he is turned into a eunuch, essentially. That's the only way that would ever happen. And Hera gets mad, obviously, at this, that he would choose Heron over her, essentially. And I'm like, be that as it may, that you two are married, he still has an obligation to the child that he created. Unintentionally, but he created a child, and he still has an obligation to try and help him, especially since his mother was killed in all this. And all this was his fault, essentially. Because they weren't able to kill the giants completely, obviously. If they were to do that, a bunch of this might not have happened. And poor Heron and his mother's situation was his fault as well. And I hated that Hera was calling Heron's mother a whore when she is definitely not. Because as far as she knew, until she figured it out, she was assuming that she was having sex with her husband, who was having bizarre mood swings where he would be nice one time and then mean the other. And when she did figure it out, I would say that she fell in love with him. I would assume. Because, I mean, if you had to choose between a nice guy and a guy who is a tyrant and is essentially abusive to you, you'd pick the nice guy every time. God or not. I mean, I don't know if she figured out that it was Zeus or if it was just a god. I assume he possibly told her at some point, but still, can you rightfully blame her? This guy could easily kill her, and she probably wanted to make sure that she was protected just in case either child wasn't her husband's. Because we all know that most likely he would kill her and the child in question. And I mean, I can understand if he'd be upset by that, but it's not like this was really her choice. But by the time she figured it out, she most likely was already pregnant. And who knows how far along, to be honest. But, yeah. Most of the time, with Zeus's other interactions with other women like that, in mythology, shoot. I don't even remember all of them. But I know he created a few good heroes, like Perseus, I don't know if Jason was one of them. I don't think so, but I think he was a favorite hero of his. But yeah, Perseus I think was one of them. Apollo, Artemis, Dionysus. Who else was his child? Athena was also his child. I don't know if I would call Aphrodite his child, because I think Aphrodite was born from the sea foam that got hit by Kronos' his balls. From the blood of his balls. Shoot, I'm probably missing some. But I'm missing probably a lot, obviously. But, yeah, most of the time, the women in question were either unaware or they didn't really have a choice in the matter because rape was not uncommon in mythology. I mean, one of the versions of Medusa was due to rape. But yeah, it's not, oh, Heracles was probably, I think, one of his as well. Hercules, Heracles, however you want to, whichever one you're going with. Anyway, yeah, just about everybody leaves with Hera, and Zeus did warn Poseidon not to trust Hera, and he said that it's probably worse to anger her, and I have to agree. I have to agree with both sides on this one, because as far as we know, Hera is not to be trusted at this point, because of all she's been doing, but you don't want to also get her mad at the same time, because if you do, God help you, because you will suffer. In one way or the other, whether it be a quick painless death, or an eternity of pain and suffering by getting, like, I don't know, turned into a snake or something like that. But yeah, the god's wrath is very legendary, almost as legendary as Zeus's infidelity issues. And that is saying something. A lot. And they start training Heron, and he tends to use his anger a lot, and it doesn't obviously make him strong, it just makes him more, kind of clouds his judgment, essentially, and makes you do things you don't really think about doing until it's too late. And Zeus tells him, essentially gives him the story of what happened and how he and his siblings were all created and everything, and how essentially he had to kill his own father in order to save his siblings, and he did. And essentially tells him that, yeah, I've not been the best father around, but I'm essentially trying. And actually, during their next day of training, he does actually destroy the thing they're training against, and we actually see what Hephaestus has been up to. And I would say he's not deformed, but he's not overly attractive like the other gods are. He's kind of slightly below average, but not, ugly and deformed like some of the stories have told. And apparently the Fates want to talk to Heron. So he finds out that he is at a crossroads and that he could either go and save Alexis and the others who are apparently walking into death's door, essentially, unaware, or he could continue his training. He obviously goes to save his friends. And oh boy, next couple episodes, I wish they would add more to this story. Because, yeah, there's a few plot holes that were kind of left unchecked. Anyway, yeah. If you guys have anything you want to add on the whole mythology thing, anything I messed up, anything I missed, anything that was interesting or whatever, feel free to, because I'm a big mythology nut. And my fiance is too, and we would just spend all this time talking about it if we wanted to. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.